Hey YouTube, my last video you saw I caught this red pig in a trap with the black one. I posted that I think 2 days ago. This is Hogman, and well, I let it hang in the cooler and gonna fixing to start skinning. You're more than welcome to watch and come along with me. What you like to do when you start skinning though is put your knife under the skin and pull out. That way you keep all the hair off of the off the meat. Not a big deal to get it on the meat, but the cleaner the better. So I'm going to make some simple cuts just to free up the hair. And those of you that skinned wild hogs before, you know they're quite a bit different than domestic. They have a lot of hair. I do have about a 600-pound Berkshire hog I'm growing right now that I will be able to do a video on later. Probably kill it next couple weeks. But for now, I need some sausage. So this makes excellent sausage. Feel free to add comments, ask questions. Be happy to answer. Let me see if I can get this set up a little better. I hope that's capturing everything. I'm a one-man show, so I won't know how this looks till I actually get on there and review the video prior to posting it. So if it's not 100% on, I do apologize in advance. One thing about these hogs I've been catching this year, they've been super fat. So they've been eating good. This particular sow, she had 4 babies in her when I killed her. So between this one and the other sow, which was not pregnant, I did take 6 potential problems off this ranch. And those of you know, these hogs cost farmers a lot of money and create extreme amount of damage to farm equipment when they start rooting. And the grass is high, you can't really see. So what happens is the farmer runs over it, breaks axles, bends rims, busts tires, and it all ends up costing money in the long run. A few years ago, we used to trap at another ranch, and we did that for 7 years, and literally we were pulling out 200 hogs a year off the guy's property. It was 3,800 acres, but they were causing a lot of damage. Now these hogs do skin quicker and easier when they're warm. Like I said, I let this one hang overnight outside, a cool night 2 nights ago. Then last night I had it in a 38-degree cooler, walk-in cooler. So it does help when you're cutting up the primals, but it makes it a little bit more difficult when you're just trying to skin them, because they're not as easy to skin per se. Just trying to find the knuckle for the tail. There it goes. Now there's a lot of ways people skin hogs. This just happens to work for me. Not saying it's right or wrong. Like I said, it just worked for me. Back when we were doing the big ranch, I can't even tell you how many hogs we did in 7 years, but I think it was upwards of 1,200-ish. Trying to keep as much fat on this on the carcass as possible. because all that equals good sausage. Once you get it going, it works really quick, especially if it's warm. I could skin a hog like this when it's warm in maybe 12 minutes. You know, as you'll see in the next video, when I cut it up, I use a hand sawzall. Works very well. Extremely well. For years I did it with a hand saw. Then I got smart. Also, when we were doing all our other pigs, we were using box cutters, because we were doing, I think the biggest day we did, the largest amount we did in one day was 48 pigs. And in box cutters you could get maybe 1 or 2 hogs out of one, and then you just flip the blade over and get 1 or 2 hogs out of the other one. When you're doing that many pigs, it does make a difference. This was not a big pig by any means. I've shot some 227 pounder last year. I shot a 249 pounder one year. So this is, as far as I'm concerned, the best size hog to eat. And it was a sow. Right now I'm just skinning the hair off the legs. That'll help me once I get down a little further on the regular hide. Again, do it any which way you want. This works this way for me. And I don't even do it the same way every time. Just depends on the circumstance, the hog, the time of day. Right now, I got plenty of time, plenty of daylight. It's early in the morning. But when I'm doing this at night by a simple light up there and a little handheld light I use, things are a little bit different at night. Anyway, as you see, it comes down pretty easy. Also, a little footnote, when I do these hogs fresh, I start off a lot lower, because the ticks and the fleas, if you have it right about here, your legs, they'll drop down, they won't land on you. Hopefully. Fleas, ticks, not an issue right now. It's cool out, plus I hung it in the cooler. That helped get rid of them. And I picked some off before I even put it in the cooler. The other pig, I gave away, the farmer wanted it, so I gave him one, which is fine. That's what the pig community is all about, helping each other. That's why I'm posting this video, or these videos, so if you're new to it, it may help you get some ideas. Trying not to cut into the bacon, but unfortunately I have. Most of this is going in sausage anyway, so I really don't care how the cuts are coming out. One thing with the box cutter, when you do this with a box cutter, you get a lot cleaner. There's shorter strokes, but you can get a lot closer to the hide. As you can see, plenty of back fat on this hog. Really don't like cutting into the meat like this. Try to keep it on the carcass as much as possible. When I do my 600 pounder in a couple weeks, it's a Berkshire hog. That is incredible. It goes all the way to the top and hangs all the way to the bottom. The head's probably 50 pounds. The hams will be 55 pounds each. This is some of the teat meat from the teats. Like I said, she had 4 in her, so she was getting ready. They're pretty good size, but she hadn't developed any milk yet. Trying to keep as much fat as I can on the carcass, like I was saying earlier. When it's warm, you can peel them right down, but not so much. Plus, it's about 50 degrees out right now, so it's, as far as skinning weather, it's perfect. 9 o'clock in the morning, 9-ish. When I was killing all those pigs for that 7 years, those wild hogs at that ranch, I had a Facebook page. It's still there, although I don't do Facebook, but it's still there. If you ever want to see some of those hogs we did, just go to Hogs Wild Ministries. I know that it's still there. I haven't been on it in a while, but I never did close it. I haven't posted anything there in quite a while. Other people may have. But there was days at the ranch, the big ranch, when we would have 5 people skinning at one time. We just had that many pigs. Again, this is only the second video I'm posting on YouTube, so bear with me if it's not quite that good yet. My phone's not that good either, but I can assure you nothing goes to waste when I'm doing hogs. Even the dog makes out. Looking for a seat. when you get down towards the head, it gets a little trickier. You just got to stay after it. There are a lot of glands in the neck. Want to make sure you get that out. Here, Junior. Eat that. All right, folks, pretty much it. All right. Take my glove off, and I will give you a walk around. So this is about 100 and I don't know. It was probably a 130-pound pig when I started with the guts and everything. It's probably dressing out now 80 pounds, maybe 90. But you can see the amount of fat is just crazy. For a wild pig, this is huge. It's very nice for the fat. And there's the head, the hide, the feet. And I'm just gonna do a simple split down the center, take it up, take it home, cut it in primals. So let me put this down again. Maybe I can get it in a better position. That's what I was thinking. Battery's about toast on this one. Maybe not. Yeah. Yep, that was the last little bit. I can dig out another battery. Give me 1 minute. This saw I'm using is a Craftsman, and it's pretty old, but it's done a lot of pigs. Yep, another dead battery. One more. I also use this setup, not this blade, but this setup to trim a lot of trees around the ranch. So sometimes I forget which battery's good and which one's not. All right. So that battery was fully charged. So, give me a minute. So I do, let me turn the water on, give me a sec. Who's that, Junior? Good boy. Just gonna wash off some of the bone dust created from the cutting from the blade. I gave it a real good rinse the other night when I shot it, so I'm very happy that there's no contaminants, no feces, no piss or anything got in this. It's a very clean job I did on it. Trying to rinse off a little bit of the hair. Still got a little bit more to trim out on just a few spots I missed with the hair on it. I use these little jet sled. I've had this thing for maybe 3 years now, and I made a mistake the first year and I loaded it up with a lot of mosquito I was cutting, and it wasn't the best thing for it. I killed my bull out here last November, and that was the reason I bought it. But I let my bull get too big. Ended up quartering it right where I'm at and then dragging it up to the cooler, which isn't far away. So it still worked out, but I need another one. Usually they're meant for the winter weather with snow and everything. So dragging it across the caliche with all that firewood kind of overloaded it. Created holes and different things. But for $50, whatever it was a heck of an investment. But it's been a real good helper. Feel free to put in the comments any questions you might have. I'll answer them the best I can. I've been butchering for 30 plus years. And I like to keep my meat clean as possible. And I'll mix this with some deer I shot, or I'll even mix it with some pork from one of the domestic hogs I've done. And it comes out great in chorizo and pan sausage, smoked link sausage. I've done summer sausage out of the wild hog, but you really got to trim a lot of fat off and just get to the meat. But once you do that, it comes out pretty good. This isn't real fat I'm throwing away. It's from where the teats were. It's just got red in it from where it was going to fill up with milk, I guess. All right. We'll do one more walk around and show you everything. Now, just a heads up, when I get it home, I'll go to the third rib. I'll cut that off. That'll be my chuck area. Then I'll come up here and I'll square off the ham. Then I'll cut down the ribs and I'll have my pork chops. Better here. This will be my pork chops. This will be my spare ribs. This will be my shoulder steaks, better known as Boston butt on this end of it. And over here would be the shank. Again, not a very big pig, but you really can capitalize really good on some nice roast if you had a mind to. But me, I'm just going to keep the back straps, the ribs, and the rest is all going to go into my sausage mix, like I was saying. But here's a little bit of a better view what a wild pig looks like that's eating very well. One of the ranches around here must be feeding protein or a lot of corn, because it's not me. But yeah, you can see how the Sawzall, you can cut right down the back. That way you can get some good squared off pork chops if you want to. But this is going to be it for this video. Hopefully they'll let me post it all. Once again, this is Hogman. And here's a picture, a little bit of the ranch in the background. I got traps in the way in the back. That's a little trailer I built over there. Some of the tools, utensils. That's a Forstner knife. Batteries, of course. They don't make this saw anymore. I've got 2 of them. They're just workhorses. I've used them extensively. I mean, literally over 1,000 hogs. I went through 4 of them, but I got 2 left. But yeah, and then there's old Junior over there waiting for his scraps. Anyway, y'all have a blessed day. God is love. He loves you to death, and he proved it. So it's Hogman out. Blessings.